do believe you need a CPA, you need a tax advisor. Okay. I do think that that's important. But in regards to like managing stocks and stuff, like that's ridiculous. You don't need that. The reason why is if you put enough money into the annuity to bridge the gap and support your living expenses now and into the future, if you take the rest of your assets that are outside of that annuity, now they're growth oriented, they're growth focused. That's the purpose of them. And you just go and buy a very credible S&P 500 index fund and put that money in there, you're going to outperform 95% of investment advisors out there. The stat states that less than 5% of investment advisors out there beat the S&P 500 every year. So why would you even need them? The annuity gives you the ability to have that wherewithal that's needed to ride the ebbs and flows of the market and stay disciplined and stay put there. You just go out and put your investment into an S&P 500 index fund and you're smooth sailing from there. So I really do believe that. And I'm sure I'm going to get some comments. They're welcome to believe me. I'd love to hear them. No offense. I think investment advisors are great. And we have some on our team here. They probably don't like me right now, but it's okay. I'll buy them lunch. But what I will tell you is that they have their purpose, but the income annuity is that powerful of a tool. And I truly believe in what it does in mitigating the risks associated with longevity and retirement, that if you just add that piece of the puzzle, think of it like a puzzle. The annuity is like half the puzzle. You already know exactly what the picture is going to look like. You just need to add the other small pieces to finish it. And you can do that on your own. And that's the beauty of it. So,
Yep.
but the fifth emotion, and then I'll pass it to you, Zach, is loss aversion. So research shows that losses are felt twice as intensely as gains, and people would rather avoid $1,000 loss than gain $2,000.
Yeah, and I think all of these: fear, greed, regret, overconfidence, loss aversion. When we consider all of these together, these five, they're all human emotions. So nobody's faulting anybody for having these basic human emotions, but if they are left unchecked, they will cause us to make irrational decisions and costly choices. As with anything, anytime we're making an emotional decision, the idea is to sit back, think about it for a minute, sleep on it, and then make that decision. Don't make a in the moment decision.
Yeah, retirement's not the time to gamble. It's a completely different phase of your life. You're no longer in that accumulation phase, you're in the deaccumulation phase. The decumulation phase is about preserving wealth and generating income that you can't outlive.
Yeah. So I want to circle back a little bit to what I was mentioning before with a past client where he said, "Hey, I want to get to this number and then I'm ready to make a decision." And that's what's called anchoring bias, right? So anchoring bias is when people will get stuck on one number. Like I need a 10% return because that's what I got 20 years ago when I was in my 40s. Um, Even though when we really sit down and think about it, that risk that comes with retirement is completely different. We're looking at a new level of risk that's going to be a concern.
Yeah, then there's the framing bias. For example, someone might feel great about a guaranteed 5% payout. But when you translate that and say that's only $25,000 on a $500,000 annuity, they start to feel shortchanged.
Yeah, yeah. Same, really, when you're looking at that, it's the same outcome, different emotions, and framing matters. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where structured income from annuities is ultimately going to actually reduce all of this decision fatigue. And the reason for that is because they create consistency. And more importantly, the benefit that we talk about the most is the peace of mind that's created when an income annuity is there solidifying the foundation for their retirement income.
And we've talked about this before, not quite at nauseum just yet, but what we have found is those retirees who do have a guaranteed income stream are proven to retire happier, less stressed, and even actually live longer.
Yeah, there's been tons of research and studies out there that prove that fact. And one of them here is recently done in 2023. It was a
Mm.
study conducted by the Alliance for Lifetime Income, and their website is protectedincome.org. They're one of the 501c3 organizations out there. And what they found is that retirees with pensions or income annuities report higher life satisfaction and confidence than those without. I mean, it's pretty clear, especially right now, of why that might be. I can't tell you. I've been doing this a long time now. I have hundreds and hundreds of clients across all 50 states, and my phone hasn't rang once because of someone worried about the markets. My phone hasn't rang one time from a client saying, well, what's going to happen to my plan and what's going to happen to my income? They don't care because they don't. It's not a concern to them. I was just out at a financial services conference 2 weeks ago, and I'm one of the rogue people in there. I'm the annuity guy, and all the other people are generally investment advisors and financial planners and things, trying to use the markets to satisfy these retirement income demands that people have. And while there, I was talking to a couple of the bigger players, and they were saying how their phone has just been ringing off the hook since since February, and it's because the people that they're serving don't have guaranteed income. Simple as that. And I said, well, why are they calling you? And they're like, they're worried about losing their money. And I said, well, what is the solution? And they said, well, we tell them just to stay put. Their portfolio is diversified. That's always the thing they say.